16 European matches since they last visited Russia. They have won only 4. Tonight they simply have to win against the Dynamo Moscow side, who've responded well to their shock exit in the Russian Cup. Volga Gazprom beat them. They are unbeaten in the last few matches as the game, slightly delayed, eventually does get underway. Back with Fernandez. Fernandez laid it forward, flicked down. Kombarov onto Granat, and the ball goes out of play. Celtic looking for early possession. Good covering by Culloden. Sent back down the side by McGeady. Donati trying to get involved. Culloden, very cool centre-back. He looked at Celtic Park, only as far as Caldwell. Flicked through, Fortuny goes after it. Gabulov was not to be beaten there, up as many goalkeepers do, up with a jump, boot out, just to make sure.
Yeah, had to be very alert there. Fortuny I think he slipped at the beginning, but then realised it was a wee half chance for him. But the goalkeeper, as you said, up with the knee.
Caldwell flicks it wide. Kombarov, Kerzakov flicks the ball out wide. Trying to chase it down as Wiltshire. And the throw will go Celtic's way. Opening few minutes, very important of course. Celtic just want to get to the tempo of the game. They want to in fact set the tempo if they can with it.
I think it's important when you're looking at the two wide players, if you can get the ball to Maloney and McGeady, they'll lift the whole side forward. Middle of the park's going to be very important as well, because Dynamo's got an extra player in that area.
Andreas Hinkel started the last 4 in Europe. Dink ball down the side, that was a poor one, and he gets some complaints there from Scott McDonald. Granat onto Fernandez. Taken down neatly. Kombarov. Identical twins playing for Dynamo Moscow, the Kombarov brothers. And there's one on the far side. Decent ball in. Well cut out and driven clear. Fortuny trying to battle away. Coming through the middle, runs into Fernandez. The referee says the challenge was unfair. And Celtic get the free kick.
A chance now to push the players forward, get the ball into the Dynamo box. But Danny Fox settling down well at that left back area. He'll be happy he's had 2 or 3 touches, just getting the ball forward.
Just coming off the arm of the number 6, Leandro Fernandez. Fortuny battling with Culloden. Good touch, Wiltshire comes in behind him. Maloney trying to feed it through. Culloden was easily there. He didn't look the tallest at the back with Culloden and Fernandez, but I was actually quite impressed with the way they played at Celtic Park.
Yeah, their movement was very good. They defended well and they defended the areas when Celtic players were trying to get in the channels. They were always there.
And it comes on to McGeady. McGeady battling with Kombarov. And Gremmel spraying the passes on to Andreas Hinkel. Hinkel into the box. No takers that time for Celtic. McGeady again moves away from Svetsov. Now here comes the captain, Koklov. Kerzakov set up the goal at Celtic Park. Kirill Kombarov on the far side. It's just one league game this season. Full back overlapping, that's a decent ball across. Celtic getting pulled about. McGeady tracking back, threats off, and at the left side. Sets off, playing for the corner, that's good play. No takers for McDonald, Koklov. The interception came close from Fox, just invited the shot. I think he had no choice but to go for it, the ball was there to be won.
The ball set up a bit fine in front of him there and he had the wee shot. I think it dipped towards the end. I think after Boric at first felt it was going really high over the crossbar, but it dipped down. But that's one thing Celtic's got to guard against, the counter-attack. They were up the other half and then all of a sudden deep in their own.
Gary Colwell plays the ball forward. We're watching this game from up in the gods of the Chimki Stadium. I was wondering Celtic need some divine inspiration throughout the 90 minutes too. Played wide to Maloney. Kowalczyk got in there. Wiltshire. Kowalczyk again. Culloden sends it long. Led by Louvens. Fairly even start to the game.
Yeah, Celtic will be happy with their performance up to now. They've had a good passage of play, they've had the ball down, but again, it's just trying to get a good ball into the box.
Leandro Fernandez, Argentinian international player, in the 2004 Copa America, and player of the year in his first season here, very popular. Kambarov getting involved with Wiltshire again, Fox struggling there. Culloden with an almighty ball from one side to the other. Go on the header, kept in play, Granat. McGiddy tracks back. Great calm from McGiddy. And Guemel up to McDonald. And Guemel is just that good passer of the ball, proves it again. McGiddy, well, Granat could hardly get out his way. And there's no free kick. Kazakov. Referee not liking the attentions that time. Alexander Kazakov. And the free kick goes Celtic's way.
Correct decision there. But again, Celtic just building up slowly, Paul. They're getting players inside the Dynamo half, and that's important. They don't need to charge forward every time they get possession.
Yeah, we often say the first goal is crucial, but Celtic arguably need two anyway.
It wouldn't be. If they lose one, they've still got to know they're still in the game. 2-1 would do them tonight.
Danny Fox. Not quite sure his summer preparations involve playing in Europe. And the thoughts towards it. On to Gary Caldwell. Caldwell looking for McDonald. Well marshalled by Fernandez, got very little out of him at Celtic Park. McGiddy goes in. Celtic have the throw through Hinkle. Possession given away. Well, I don't think Donati did too much wrong there. Smith's of the man who was fouled against.
Nothing in that one, just stretched his leg out there. We're just holding Donati off. And again, Donati going over the top.
Kotlov decides to leave it. Granat. Back on to Fernandez. 5 meetings in Russia between Scots sides and Russian sides. The Scots have lost only once. Rangers against CSKA. Celtic need a win here. Granat wins it well. Kerzakov. He'd come off his arm. Allowed to turn. That's a decent little effort. Arthur Boric was watching coming down one side, tried to flick it into the opposite corner.
Good skill from Kerzakov. He caused Celtic an awful lot of problems last week, and again he started well tonight.
Wiltshire well marshalled that time. Fortuny. Fortuny still going. Donati had made the run, he then slipped. And Culloden across to knock the ball out of play. On the angle to McGiddy. Tidy play once more. Dmitry Kambarov. Kerzakov, he's used to playing the lone striker role. And Guemel just went in, made the challenge. The referee quite rightly shakes his head. Evans to Caldwell. The whistle's coming from the home fans. Fortuny. Drops down onto Vladimir Granat. Kambarov moves the ball off. And Caldwell can easily take. Fox. On to Maloney. Good 1-2. Kolkloff just stands, waits, picks him off.
I think already you realise why he's back in the side here. Every bit of scraps he's picked up.
But once for Celtic, Kerzakov drops off at the edge of the box. Svetsov made a good run inside it. Wilkshire, the man from down under, takes his time. Check into the box. Celtic defend. McGeady scampers. Fortunate, not fortunate. Svetsov. And Gwynn looks very lively tonight so far. Good passing, and he's hassling, closing down Svetsov.
Well, it's very important in the middle of the park. The two midfielders alongside Donati and Guillermo, they've got to get tight in there. They've got to pick up the ball.
All sorts of room for Wilkshire if that pass had been weighted correctly. Same could be said for McDonald, although I think he miscontrolled.
Well, that was twice. Both strikers, Fortuny this side, miscontrolled as well when McGeady gave him a decent pass, and that's important tonight. The two strikers have got to hold the ball up.
Wilkshire, Lewins comes across. Again the two tangle, the referee with a good angle. Through ball inside, Svetsov, Kombarov tries to get it through, Kerzakov waited. Lewin's knock away, and as far as Kolodin, the centre defender, moving through the middle, lovely little shimmy too, lays the ball off. Well blocked, Dmitry Komarov with the shot. A few problems for Celtic starting to emerge.
Yeah, but you're allowing people like Kolodin coming from the back there, driving at the Celtic defenders. And they've got the one thing about them, albeit they're playing 4-1, 4-1, they're getting players forward. The two wide players are causing problems as well.
Well, Culloden scored once this season from the back. I've been told he's got a foot like a traction engine. So we'll see what he can do with that. You certainly don't want to allow him to open up. Kolkloff inside onto Wilkshire. Gets the ball, Kovacic. Kombarov easily dispossessed. Donati drops it off to Fox. I just wonder if Donati will prefer to be playing away from home. He's not always at the best of times at Celtic Park. Will he thrive in a different atmosphere?
Well, I think he'll enjoy it tonight, but I think both the midfielders are both so-called sitting midfielders. So I think it's important for them tonight. They don't need to force everything all night, but keep Celtic in possession of the ball.
Fox on the angle. That's a good ball for Tunic. Or is it to drop over his shoulder? That's perhaps a little heavy in the end. The striker deciding he wasn't going for that first time, but he appreciated the effort.
For me, that was a very good ball to the back post. I think he just misjudged it there. I think he was looking to initially take the ball down his chest. He felt he could allow the ball to go, and he just went out for the goal kick.
Coulter's defending well. Kolkloff, rare wayward pass. I thought it was a decent ball from Donati. Maloney didn't read it. Kirill Kombarov move forward. Svetsov just being held off there by Donati. Fortuny battling, he wrapped round, he got the player before he got the ball. That's a free kick. Donati's down.
Correct decision there. The referee just having a wee word in the ear of Fortuny there. He's caught the player, never made contact with the ball. No contact at all in the ball there, so obviously the referee spot on.
35-year-old referee took charge of the Champions League for the first time last season. This was the run from Culloden, really causing problems up at the edge of the box. Kerzakov tries to flick it through. Arthur Boric didn't play in Moscow last time. It's the only game he's missed in Europe since his European debut, which was Art Media. Thankfully for him, the home leg, not the away one. Grano onto McGeady. Kept in well. Wilkshire complains. Fox. A bit of room for Celtic to move here. Back out wide. Fox once more.
Much better play. started the right back area, across the midfield, out to the left back area, into Maloney, back out to Fox here, and he's won the corner kick.
Celtic need Sean Maloney and Aidan McGeady to be in the mood. Maloney had the option short. Should have got to play into the box. Luvins comes in to wait for it. Headed away from Barov. Down to McGeady. Moves away from the other Kombarov. They're identical twins. McGeady for the line. They'll take the other corner.
That's better. We're picking the ball up, and then McGeady's doing it one side, Sean Maloney's doing it the other side, just to be a step over there, winning another corner kick.
Donati forward, Lubin's up at the edge of the area. Caldwell too. Whipped across, not particularly well dealt with. And Koklov, the Russian hammer into the stand.
A bit of fortune there, didn't fall for one of the Celtic defenders in there, that Koklov just get his boot through the ball and knocked out for another throw-in.
Marco Antoine Fortuny, as he wished to be known. More fouls than goals have been added to his particular name. Oh, it's a loose ball. Kerzakov picks up, Svetov comes forward. He's got absolutely no support. Celtic gang up on him.
Just a wee bit unlucky at the far side there, Donati. A bad bounce, the ball just broke away from him. But again, that's the forte of Dynamo Moscow, that the counter-attack, they're very quick in behind you.
Fortuny moves forward into McDonald, laid it off almost to McGeady. Dynamo Moscow very quick to get back. Kirill Kombarov. It's just one league game this term. And like his brother, who's played them all, he's on the ball now. So close, these identical twins, even down to wearing the white boots. Koklov. Gavouchik, Polish international player, on the angle. Kombarov again, Hinkle away. Granat, Koklov. Wiltshire, nicely away from Donati. Kombarov there again. Trying to take on Fox. I don't think there was too much in that. This is going to be a goal kick. Interesting. The 22-year-old Kirill Kombarov immediately looked to the referee.
Yeah, he was looking for the free kick there. Wee clasher, bodies there, but I think Danny Fox made as if he was going to go there. Kombarov's into him. He's went down to the ground. For me, a good decision by the referee.
I've noticed the blackout on the Celtic shirt alcohol sponsorship is against Russian law. Hence the blackout is required. McGeady drifting to the left. Yeah, there's Maloney there. Celtic stacked on that far side. Andre and Wermel. On to McDonald. Again, Koklov moves in. Wiltshire with a little touch across. Kerzakov, absolutely no support in the box. Holds off Caldwell and draws the free kick. Gary Cole was a little bit unfortunate with that. Yeah,
he's went in a wee bit late. I think he initially was with Kerzakov. He allowed him to go off him. He allowed him to drive there. Kerzakov, he's used to being on his own there. But Gary Cole just sticking out the leg and just tripped over his foot.
Immediately from the back, Ando Fernandez will try and bring pressure on Artur Boric. Wiltshire takes most of the set plays. Celtic with every single player back in that penalty box. Wiltshire goes for goal. Artur Boric says thank you. Fortuny wants the ball wide. Boric rolls it to Caldwell.
That's a lift for the goalkeeper. He's under so much pressure. He's waiting for a good ball on top of him there. But Wiltshire just curled the free kick straight into the arms of Artur Boric.
Good crowd inside Arena Himki. Dynamo Moscow returning to European football after 8 years away. Tie against Rangers was their last. They played it at their own home ground. And lost by 4 goals to 1. Past the stadium at Petrovsky Park coming here today. Dilapidated would be doing it a favour. Kerzikov strikes forward. And Lubins nice the ball all the way, run through. On to Boric.
That was another warning there. Kerzikov coming with Lubins. He's trying to nip in front of him. Good strength from Kerzikov. He turned a big defender, but the shot was blocked.
Great goal scoring record at Zenit, especially in European football. Fortuny goes away from Granat, on to McDonald. Somebody over the head of McGeady, Hinkle, who was hovering. 3 in the box for Celtic. McGeady to the byline, deflected. And the fullback takes charge. Granat taking no chances, ball out of play.
McGeady's got to try and get the ball by the first defender. That's the problem. There are so many defenders there. They're sweeping up very easily. He's got to get support coming towards the front post area as well. I think this is a match that Celtic don't need to force it all the time, Paul. They will create a chance at some point, but they've got to make sure they've got enough possession. When they do get put under pressure, they can hold the ball.
Speaking to Mark Venus before the game, he certainly had a great belief that Celtic could do this. He thought if they did decide to play 4-1-4-1, Celtic would have a better chance of dictating the play. And they're doing pretty well.
I think they're comfortable just now, but again, they're not creating any chances. But I still think it's been an even start to the game. Both sides have had enough chances going forward. And Celtic playing 4-4-2 against a 4-1-4-1, but Kerzikov is just a wee bit special.
Chile doing well. And Celtic will again have a corner. Granat tracking back. Well, he had the chance at Celtic Park, which he didn't take. He's desperate for redemption.
He's got to get all the big ones in the box. Luvins is going up. Gary Caldwell's there. Donati's in there. Fortuny. So you've got to make sure that you're going to miss the first defender here and give them a chance to attack the ball.
Danny Fox indicates the movement. It's flicked deep. Gary Caldwell goes after it. Good header back almost into Luvins. Fernandez got the ball away. It was neatly worked. Luvins looks for it. Can only help it onto Wiltshire. Down quickly. And Fernandez onto Kerzikov. Barov is quick. That's good play from Hinkle. Onto Boric. Doesn't want to mess about. Fernandez under pressure from 2 Celtic players. Dimitri Kombarov forward. Kerzikov come back easily onto Danny Fox.
Again, Graham will just get in there and get his toe to the ball there. But again, good build up there from Celtic. They've won the corner kick. But the good ball in from Gary Caldwell from the header, but Glenn Leuven just sleeping in the middle of the goals.
Fox with a touch, back onto Donati. McDonald. Maloney almost combined with McGeady. Fortuny is way wide. Whistles again from the home fans. Good movement from Celtic. Donati drives. On to Fox. It was pretty poor that time from Danny Fox. It remains 0-0 here. More football on the BBC. We'll take you to Oslo next Wednesday, 5:45. BBC 2 Scotland. We're delighted to bring you Norway against Scotland live. What a match that should be. It's a must-win for the Scots. I'll tell you what, it's a must-win for the Norwegians as well. Sets it up beautifully.
I think it's a must-win for us, never mind the Norwegians. But going back to Celtic here tonight, for me the football's been good, but they're finding it difficult to get in behind Dynamo because they're going, as soon as they lose the ball, it's 4-5 in front of all the Celtic players and they're trying to get down both sides.
Dimitri Kombarov is the man who's down. Celtic continue to play. That's what their hosts were doing. Celtic under no obligation to stop. McDonald wants the ball. He's way on this right hand side. It's being kept, almost a cabal being formed on that left side by Celtic. Wiltshire have been impressed with his passing in the first leg and tonight.
He's been a very good player, middle of the park, and a couple of times at Celtic Park a week ago he had a couple of strikes from 20-25 yards, so he's comfortable. So Celtic's got to make sure when he picks the ball up, they've got to close him down.
Lewis Aguilar from Braga, who's a midfield player, often just makes other players play better. Their position's under threat. Wiltshire looking for Coulclough. Oh, it was almost a mistake. It was a mistake from Gary Caldwell. Coulclough, Kombarov, the Dimitri version. Wiltshire, unorthodox defending that time from Donati. You're allowed to use your feet. Maloney shows too much of it to Svetsov. And Luvens comes out. Rarely lets Celtic down as Glenn Luvens as Tony Mowbray. I think he's got three good centre halves. The effort was rather tame. And easily save Kabulov from Maloney.
But that'll give Sean Maloney a lift there. He's come inside by two defenders there. He set himself up. Normally he's a good striker of the ball there, but he never really got hold of it. It was an easy take for the goalkeeper.
Kowalczyk plays it on. Wiltshire again. Fox went in very heavily on Kirill Kombarov. It remains there in Guillermo. Hinkle, unfortunately, decides he's going to knock the ball out of play.
I don't think there was much in the challenge, I must say. I thought Fox went in with both bodies went together. But he's back on his feet without any treatment. So obviously Celtic will get the throw in back from Dynamo.
Oh, you would hope so. As the boss continues to chat away Andrei Kovalov here since 2006. And Dimitri Koklov sends the ball forward. It's not the goalkeeper tested just yet.
No, it's been fairly quiet. 2 or 3 long-range efforts from both sides. Again, I think both sides are still trying to find out the tempo of the game. Dynamo, they're 1-0 in front. How they're going to approach it, charge forward for another goal or hold it 1-0. Celtic, as we know, they've got to get a goal at some point throughout the 90 minutes.
Well, talking of goals, 4 goals in 6 games in Europe last season. McDonald, Robson, McGeady and Maloney, 3 of the 4 goal scorers on the field tonight. Fox launches it. Fortuny up behind Granat. McGeady, that was a mismatch against Koklov.
I think it's very evident every time Celtic are picking the ball up round about the halfway line, Dynamo are just backing off into their own half and making sure they've got 2 banks, 1 of 4, 1 of 5.
Donati spread wide to Fox. McDonald. Donati again. Granat read that pass all the way, a poor ball onto it, and Nguemo's ball. A bit of rusty play from both sides.
Yeah, again, good possession there, and Nguemo just picking the ball up. He's trying to just thread the ball through in the inside right channel for Scott McDonald, but a wee miss-hit and it's out for the goal kick.
The fans have come in good number, just over 11,500, the biggest attendance for Dynamo this season against Zenit St. Petersburg. No love lost between the two sides. It was won by 1-0.
Good atmosphere inside the ground as well, Paul. Local fans are getting behind their side.
Very tidy stadium, it's the newest in Russia. First season it's been used for FC Khimki. They've retained their old one as a training ground. There's McGeady, flicks on. And Celtic just getting caught. And Wiltshire looks up, Svetsov as a possible runner. People didn't want to gamble. Kombarov again, strong on this left side. Gavrilov sent it long, flipped on Kirill Kombarov. Donati to McGeady, again good tracking back. Celtic not getting any peace. Svetsov trying to move past Nguemo. Nguemo will get the free kick. the first man.
Well played. I think that's very important. Gary Caldwell getting very close to Kerzikov there. Because if he can get the ball at his feet, he allows his teammates to go and support him.
Kerzikov scored in his last 3 domestic matches. It's a definite threat. Here in McGeady looking to add to his goal tally in Europe for Celtic. Madu was setting one up, he wins the corner.
Super play by Aidan McGeady, by the full back for fun there, but again it's just the last touch, the cross going into the box, he's hit the next defender.
If you had to be critical of Celtic, this is their 4th corner. None of the previous 3 have even forced a save from the goalkeeper.
I think it's important to just get the ball into a decent area. The last one, Gary Caldwell gets head in on it at the back post.
That was worse than poor.
It is now.
Kerzikov, lovely touch. Koklov went the wrong way. Svetsov was breaking down the right-hand side. He had the whole lane to himself.
Very unusual, because that's their game, is a counter-attack game. They had Svetsov going through that inside right channel. No one lifted their head, and that could have been really costly for Celtic.
Celtic catch a break. Okay, just joining us here on the BBC, Celtic making 1 change. Fox for the injured Naylor. McGeady sends it on the angle.
I was on the pitch before the game, John, and I felt the grass was Paul. Felt the grass was a wee bit long. I was wondering, just looking at Aidan McGeady there, he's rolled the ball across the ground there and it never reached his target.
Koklov. I do a side, given the fact that it's played on every week, perhaps they just try and keep it a little bit longer. 2 sides sharing the same pitch. But to be fair, it looks better than Fir Park. Fox. Doing the simple things, making sure it's headed away and down the side. Hinkle kept in. Fortuny with the touch. Fernandez with him. Fortuny wanted to try and get the corner. That's what he's done.
Good play by Fortuny holding the ball up there, but one thing he was looking for was a supporting runner from the middle of the park there. Both of them are sitting there and the gap's too wide. I think one of them has got to take a gamble when Celtic are in the final third of the park.
Koklov. That was just lovely against McGeady.
He's a good player, very comfortable. But again, in Guillermo, that's important that he's got to close him down as quickly as he can.
The last corner. It was awful. So it's now Maloney taking. Maloney takes his time and replicates the corner of Fox. Svetsov goes in. Well, fair play to the referee. He could have easily given a free kick there.
Yeah, but again, Celtic, just a poor corner kick. Sometimes you've just got to say it. If every ball's going to go to the front post, put a player there and see what's going to happen. He might pick up the scraps and just flick it on into the middle. But again, you're looking for the ball to allow the tall players to go and attack it.
5 corners, no chances so far for Celtic. The home side. Coming forward, Svetsov. They've been caught by Luvens. Well, we can call the referee many things. A homer, he certainly isn't.
Not at all, because that's normally a free kick. I felt, because there was contact there. Glenn Luvens barged into the back of him. So the Celtic players will knock it out for the treatment for the player. And the referee just waving play on.
Well, we're being complimentary to the referee. I'm sure our Russian colleagues in the box next door are not being so nice to the 35-year-old Swede.
It's going to get back treatment there. They're just watching it now. The ball played up. Wasn't much in it.
No.
Wasn't much in it. The referee's got it spot on.
On come the first aid men. And back off they go. Denied their big stretcher moments. And Viktor Svetsov, just 18 years old, made his debut this season, sub at the weekend. He started to make a real impression. 1 or 2 very good young players on the books of Dinamo Moscow.
He's coming back on without getting any treatment. No trouble at all.
He's allowed on the field of play. So So parity again in terms of numbers, disparity in terms of scoreline on aggregate. A goal from Alexander Kokorin. A goal separating these sides. Donati got caught late. Svetsov, I think, trying to mete out some justice. McGeady for Celtic. Koklov right in front of him. McGeady tried to lay it off to Henkel, Kumbarov and Svetsov. A little 1-2. Dmitry Kumbarov to get away from Nguemo. Sent long for Kerzakov.
Super play by Danny Fox there. Everybody going for the long ball, and he just dummied it and turned inside and just kept Celtic in possession. But again, Celtic giving the ball away cheaply. They're allowing Dynamo the counter-attack. But the more the game's going on, Paul, you just feel as though Dynamo are going further and further back in the pitch when Celtic pick the ball up.
Well, the gaps start to appear. Donati. And Nguemo. Onto McGeady. Hinkle. Draws Kombarov. Scott McDonald's just not got into the game so far for Celtic. Trying to start that move out wide onto Fox. Fortuny trying to hold off the ball. And Kovalchuk is the man that's doing the fouling.
The home fans not too happy because they felt it was similar to the last challenge there, but Fortuny again using his strength, holding the ball up, wee tug at the back. But again, we're looking at a free kick. It's got to be a decent ball into the box.
Sean Maloney stands over the ball. Starting 3 consecutive European matches for Celtic for the very first time. Gavrilov waits. If the name's familiar, he impressed for Russia against England a couple of years back. Matched the Russians 1-2-1. Maloney in, Koklov away. Nguemo waits for it. Pumped it into the ground. Luvens was high with the boot. And Andro Fernandez, the man who emerges unscathed.
Just looking at Gary Caldwell, he's in a real go at the near side linesman here. I don't know if something happened as the ball was played in from the Sean Maloney free kick. Just watching the high boot of Glenn Luvens.
And Fernandez thankfully read what was coming. He's still pretty. Gavrilov sends it long. Fox is impressed. To Maloney. That looked like a free kick. Kurzakov. Wilkshire was allowed to continue, and that will be a free kick. Glenn Luvens has got away with one. He's not going to get away with a second. The manager is happy, and Gary Caldwell is not impressed at all.
I felt the referee got it right. I think Maloney went down easily, but the second one, there's a bit of contact there. Obviously the referee felt there was enough contact for the free kick. A wee push from Glenn Luvens. It's in a dangerous area.
They're not a team laced with goal scorers, but the ones they have are dangerous. Culloden can strike. Koklov as well. And of course, he's netted 11 goals this term. Alexander Kurzakov. 9 in the league, 2 in the cup. Trying to make the communication clear. Boric sets the wall. And it's bouncing around. Kurzakov, wall does its job, hit Fortuny. And Nguemo. Maloney emerges. It's a free kick. There's 2 nibbles there from Dmitry Kumbarov.
Well played. They're all doing its job there. And again, they've picked up the scraps, and Sean Maloney driving forward and winning another free kick.
Donati to Nguemo. Fox. Way behind Maloney, reacted well. McGeady wants it. Hinkle supplies. That's good play from Aidan McGeady. Just won't open up for him. Need to come off right in front of him. Hinkle. Nguemo. Celtic from side to side. Find a way to puncture this defence. go through. They've got through the midfield line. The defence standing tall. McDonald plays it in, flicked wide. Maloney goes after it. It's Kirill Kambarov. He thumps the ball into the stand. Better again from Celtic.
Yeah, much better. Good possession there. Just waiting for the opening to get the ball in the box.
Fortuny to Guillermo. He closed down very quickly by Kambarov. Well, in terms of possession, Celtic are enjoying it. In terms of shots on goal, they're troubling the goalkeepers. Fortuny just too much on it. McDonald again puts the thumbs up. He appreciated the attempted touch from his strike partner.
Yeah, it's been good the last 5-10 minutes from Celtic. Guidi's picked up a few times. He's trying to get in behind, but there's so many defenders there. He's finding it difficult. But then they go down the left-hand side. Maloney's tried, and Fox has had a couple of good balls into the box.
Referee warning about time wasting. It's particularly early to draw it to the attention of the Dinamo Moscow players.
That's their game plan just now. They're trying to slow everything down. They're putting so many players behind the ball and just hoping they can get a hold of the ball and knock it up to Kerzikov at the other end.
Eddie McGiddy. Now Sean Maloney against Kavauchik. Maloney for the byline. The way past the pole at the moment. McGiddy's inside. If it could be picked out, that's a decent ball too. On to Donati. And Guillermo, will he fancy a hit? He does so. Well, his first two goals for Nancy came in the final minute of match. He's trying to make an earlier impression for Celtic.
Yeah, it's good play, good build-up. He's picked the ball, but never really get his foot through the ball. Fortuny just slipped away, wanting the ball just put inside that inside right channel.
Kerzikov makes a good run. Kambarov trying to find him. Celtic have the players around the ball. That's a free kick. Well, again, it's good play at Wiltshire. Coming forward, little shuffle of the feet, trying to drive on.
Guillermo strong there. He missed him with his first foot, so he went for him with the other one and gave away the free kick.
Vladimir Granat. New players had a spell away on loan. Came back and established himself in the side. Wiltshire. Colclough. Dennis Kolodin. Kirill Kambarov drops the ball down. Sets off, couldn't do much with it. Thoughts of Pat Nevin and Craig Patterson along with Dougie Donnelly coming up at a half-time. 0-0 here, Celtic trailing on aggregate. And Guillermo onto Fortuny. McDonald's inside the box, McGiddy too. Bernat trying to close him down, back onto Hinkle. That's a good ball across, should be for Celtic, it is! Brilliant goal from Scott McDonald. Absolutely tremendous play from Celtic. Celtic are back in the tie. Dinamo Moscow 0, Celtic 1.
What a fantastic goal there by Celtic. A great play through the middle of the park. And Guillermo's found it. The ball's been played inside to Andy Hinkle. He's flicked it to the back post there. McDonald on his own. Straight header, bottom corner. Ties all square.
Well, he set up the equaliser against Spartak Moscow. He goes one better here with a goal.
It's one of the first crosses. Look, it's come over, missed the defenders. Back post. Not sure whether it even took a wee deflection off the defenders. He headed it down the way. No, it missed.
Culloden came across, couldn't get him, Murdoch couldn't get him at all. Celtic talked about it, trying to get the ball into the box well. They thought they could cause problems, they've done so. What a great time to score a goal as well. 60 seconds to the break. Celtic lead in Moscow.
Yeah, they've been the better side in the first 45 minutes, but the final ball into the box, they've been struggling with it. But now, first time they've got the ball deep to the back post there, and Scott McDonald finishing off a really good move.
Danger time, Celtic have to be careful here. Look, Wiltshire. Dinamo trying to strike back immediately. It's a decent ball in the box and Luvens turns it behind on the home side. On the strange ground for them. Up the corner.
Yeah, first time that the ball's been in, it's not been dealt with there, just flicked away for the corner kick. But Celtic, this is when they've got to be on their guard. Right on half-time, they've just got themselves in front. Don't give it away.
1 minute of additional time to be played. Dmitry Komarov goes across to take. Martin Ingvarth is the fourth official this evening. And the Swedish crew. Kurzakov played it in, he got a nice touch on. Breaks on, Kokov almost in. Hinkel was on the post. And Guemo has to slash at the ball to get it away. And Celtic were struggling there, but they were resolute in the end. And the free kick's going to be given against Guemo for the challenge.
First time in the half that Celtic's been struggling at the back there, Paul. Just couldn't get a hold of the ball to clear it. But Dynamo pushing everyone forward now, just to try and get a goal right on half-time.
Well, Kokov for 4 goals this time. I think Celtic were going to clear it. It broke back to him, hit it on the right foot. Hinkel was there. Lodden goes for it. Oh, foot like a traction engine, and a finish like a traction engine as well, thankfully.
We'll take that all the time, right on half-time, under pressure, free kick in a dangerous area, and someone having a goal from about 40 yards, high over the crossbar.
Don't think the cameraman was too chuffed.
No, not at all.
Well, the referee has decided that the half-time whistle will be blown before the goal kick is taken. It's been good news for Celtic in the city of Moscow. Dinamo Moscow against Celtic. Scott McDonald has the goal. That's why they're happy. Half-time, Dinamo Moscow 0, Celtic 1.
Well, it's always I wonder whether that's almost significant as well, that they weren't maybe all that optimistic, but we shall see. 45 minutes to go then, Celtic 1-0 up. Let's get back out to our commentary team, Murdo and Paul.
Thanks to the goal from Scott McDonald, his first away from home in European football. And Celtic coming into this match, no goals scored in the last 3 competitive games, blanked against the capital sides, Hibs and Hearts, and of course Dinamo Moscow last weekend. So Celtic now 45 minutes away from at least going to extra time if there's no change in the scoreline. A goal for either side, and this time will be settled within the 90 minutes tonight. Back with Artur Boric, who'll probably be wondering if he's going to see much of an onslaught coming towards him. Kurzakov very dangerous. Kokorin on the bench, the goal scorer last week at Celtic Park. Celtic caught offside. Small position that time, Scott McDonald.
I think it's going to be interesting in the second half that Dynamo, one of their best results ever away from home, playing 4-4-2. They've changed it, played 4-1, 4-1 at home, and now they've got to chase the game and they've lost their advantage. So I wonder if they'll think about the change and stick on young Cochrane, who scored the goal last week.
The manager's 40 years old, spells with Dynamo Moscow as a player, former Real Betis and Zenit St. Petersburg player. Very experienced. This is his first campaign as a manager in European football terms. He may well be regretting that change. McGinney will swish over the air. It's another good decision from the referee, Wiltshire. Just catching Sean Maloney. Celtic move forward quickly. He rode the challenge. McGeady could well have gone down. He would have got the free kick. It was the connection was there for all to see. Wiltshire. Arskokov. It's a poor ball that time by Svetsov, the 18-year-old. Good play from Maloney. Fox in the box. And McDonald says that had gone behind. My blue and white means it hadn't.
Good play down the left-hand side. Danny Fox here just supporting Sean Maloney. First time ball into the box, and a bit unfortunate there for McDonald. I felt maybe the defender was in at the same time.
Is impressed on Escalada. 4th season at Dinamo Moscow.
The referee allowed the advantage there to see if Kurzakov was going to get in front of Gary Caldwell there, but he's brought the free kick back from Glenn Louvens.
Can see momentarily that we've got a walkway in front of us, which makes the Leningradsky prospect look like a quiet wee street. Not the main road in Moscow, the M10 motorway. The heart of the city, all the way out into the suburbs. Your Celtic have struck at the heart of Dinamo Moscow just before the breakthrough. Scott McDonald. Kombarov goes down again. He really has collapsed on a few occasions fairly easily, and the referee isn't fooled.
Good play across the back there. Sean Malone under a bit of pressure, but he had to keep possession of the ball. Knocking it into Glenn Louvens. Again now to Gary Caldwell. It's important now that Celtic get a hold of the ball, but push the whole squad further the pitch.
Well, free kick. In fact, both players go down injured. Fortuny gets back up. It's like Granat on that far side, who came second in terms of the physical contact. He won the ball.
It just went over his ankle. Yeah, I think the wee clashes, both of them went for the ball there. Both a wee push there. Yeah, just caught him a wee twist. Not much in it, but again, it's always a sore one.
Well, Dynamo Moscow looking to become the third Russian club in the Champions League group stages. Ruben Kazan, last season's champion, CSKA Moscow, 2 automatically in the group stages. The Moscow Times telling us yesterday that the winner of this tie goes straight into the group stages. We realised that not to be the case. There is a fourth and final qualifying round to come.
It'll be a tough one, no matter who gets through. It's going to be a very tough one, but I think Celtic just now will be delighted with the first 45 minutes. They've got themselves in front. They've got to keep on going. I think if they sit back and think the hard work's done, it's not. They need a second goal to get through in this tie.
Celtic were the seeded side in this particular tie, and the other seeds in the non-champions little group of 10 well, have been struggling also. Shakhtar Donetsk 2-2 with Timisoara, Sporting Lisbon 0-0 against FC Twente, and Panathinaikos lost 3-1 at Sparta Prague. It really has been a problem, but here it's level as far as the tie is concerned.
It's interesting watching Dynamo just now as the ball's just not along the two. Kombarov, twins, but both sides have pushed right against Celtic's two full-backs, and Kerzikov on his own through the middle, but you've also got Wiltshire joining them, so they're trying to be more offensive.
It's a really tactical contest. Interesting to see what happens, what develops both managers, what part they can play to influence the game. Culloden long, poor ball. Want to see more of that.
Yeah, well, they're giving the ball away cheaply. But I still think Celtic still got to pick up with their left in the last 20 minutes of the first half. They were getting more of the ball. They pushed Dynamo back into their own half. I think just now, the first few minutes, Dynamo started more in Celtic's half.
Well, it's on to Louvens. Started the last couple of away matches in Europe, starts again tonight. Up towards McDonald. Fortuny goes after it. That's long by the fullback. Louvens away. Kolklov down on the chest. Kombarov. Real effects of the last challenges. Culloden loves to rumble forward, and he's left a gap if Celtic can move. McDonald trying to stretch though. Granat. Dimitri Kombarov. On to Granat. Kolklov in the midfield. Kombarov tries to drop it off. That might work for Kolklov. It has done. Low driven ball in. Now Gary Caldwell certainly caught the man. The driven shot on the angle comes from number 9, Dimitri Kombarov. Well, it was Svetov who went down in the box. It took me off the ball momentarily to see how much of Gary Caldwell's the back of the hand seemed to catch the youngster. Gary Caldwell's not impressed. Keep your eye on this, he's gone down.
He was already down, but just again, Andy Hinkle made a mistake at the back post there, misjudged the ball there. Good strike across the goalkeeper, just wide of the target. But Celtic a wee bit slack starting the second half.
Well, Dimitri Kombarov goes against CSKA Moscow and Tom Tomsk this season. Showing he's got a good shot on him. comes Sean Maloney. Fernandez comes across.
It's a long ball, clearance flicked on. Opportunity McDonald and on to Sean Maloney. They've just got to push Dynamo, keep them in their own half just now.
Danny Fox played well to Maloney. For McDonald, Wiltshire, the two Aussies together. Gremmel, Hinkle, as he does, loves to come forward. Can he create? Deflected, Svetsov, deflected corner.
Better possession, better width down the right hand side as well. You just feel as though the two wide players have been coming in towards the middle of the park and trying to clog it up there, but it's allowing Dynamo to come down on both sides. So I think Celtic, they've just got to make sure when they go into the opposition half, they get enough players there, but width at both sides.
Svetsov not looking too happy there. Cut off easily away. Well, Caldwell had stayed forward. Gets the ball on to McDonald, almost the touch away. Culloden was back. Solid challenge from Gary Caldwell. Looked at his 33 caps next Wednesday. He's been ever present. Scotland's qualifying campaign. It's been terrific for Celtic.
Good strong challenge there, and he set up the wee half chance there for Scott McDonald. A nice wee flicked header.
Culloden, 27-year-old, onto the fullback, and Cranat. Dmitry Kuklov. Kovacic, back to his captain. It's a good ball. Kombarov's got inside. That's a dangerous tackle from Fox. And the referee has decided it's a corner. Given the referee's angle, that might have been worse.
Yeah, well, Danny Fox was caught, he was inside him there, which was the wrong side to be at there. Didn't think there was much, and I think the player was looking for it.
He was.
Contact, yeah, he's looking for contact. Look at the ball, super ball inside Danny Fox there. He's barged into Fox. I think it was a good decision by the referee.
It's one of these decisions, if the referee is wrongly placed, he can call that wrong.
Easily, but because he was, Danny Fox was at the wrong side trying to defend.
Dmitry Komarov delivers. Problems for Celtic, knocked off the line. Andrews Hinkle away. The Dinamo fans can't quite believe it, that Hinkle doing his job. Celtic have a man down. Kuklov continuing to push. And Bruno is down, that's a good touch. Komarov again takes a slight deflection, and it's a corner.
I don't know what happened in Bruno there. I don't know whether someone caught him in the face on the way by, but what a chance there. Goalkeeper beaten. And Andy Hinkle doing his job at the back post. Here we got again, super ball in, flicked header, front post, goalkeeper beaten. Andy Hinkle, that's importance of having someone on your post.
I'll tell you what, it was the Kombarov brothers, the identical twins, were on the same page there. One with a corner, one with a header, and Kirill almost converting Dimitri's corner. And Andreas Hinkle with German efficiency there to knock it away.
Yeah, he had to be there, but again, for me, Celtic started a wee bit slack in the second half. They've not been as much possession in the ball, they've been giving it away, and they've allowed the spaces just to in front of the back four, and it's allowed Dynamo to get in behind Celtic.
You're just joining us, coming home, it's one apiece in aggregate. Even if Celtic lose a goal, they've still got to score anyway, and 2-1 for Celtic would take them through on away goals. At the moment we're going additional time. It's not deadly, I just wouldn't want it anyway. So that was that time. Svetsov back in, turned away by Fox. Not the best clearance by McDonald, punted down the middle, turned back in by Wiltshire. The two Aussies not distributing particularly well, and Hinkle gets away from Kombarov, tries to move away from Wiltshire. And that was a decent little ball in as well, under pressure. He just had nobody running to that side of the box, but he felt, I think he was overrunning it.
Yeah, he was under pressure there. Wiltshire getting back there, but just giving the ball away. But this is where Celtic now, they've got to look at it, and Gremmo's come back on. That's good news for Celtic. They've just got to get a hold of the ball in the middle of the park. We've not been talking about Nguemo and Massimo Donati in the last 5-10 minutes.
Dinámo Moscow again coming forward, taking no chances. Fox stepping in almost at centre half that time. Quick clear, Renat drives towards the edge of the box. Celtic there in numbers, and Nguemo like no ill effects. Hinkle slides in and forward on to McGeady. McGeady will rode the challenge. The referee will give the free kick. He paused the heartbeat Murdo to see if he was going to get to the ball. Realised no advantage was coming.
Good refereeing again. He's allowed the player to make the challenge, waited for Aid McGeady, but he stumbled. But now it will allow Celtic just to get forward the pitch here, because they have been under a bit of pressure the last 5 minutes.
To Maloney, and at the same time Brian Kambarov.
Just slack there. He's got to keep the possession, and that's where Celtic are letting themselves down just now, just giving the ball away too cheaply.
Played away by Donati. Not called his name too often at the start of the second half.
It's amazing, the home side are just still sitting off Celtic. They're quite happy the way the game is just now, because they feel as though they can maybe nick a goal.
Up there to play. Martin Kovacic. Celtic trying to move forward. Maloney with a claim for the corner. It's going to be a goal kick. Celtic have conceded 17 consecutive away matches within the 90 minutes, 18 if you include the extra time goal that AC Milan score. Can they shut up shot and move and find a way through at the other end? Here's McGeady. Svetsov comes in. Wilkshire. Kirill Kambarov. Back to the Australian. To Dmitry Kambarov. Renat on the overlap. That's a decent cross in. Fox wasn't quite sure where his man was. He might have been able to leave it, taking no chances. Kambarov coming in.
Yeah, and Hinkle under a bit of pressure there. 2-on-1 there. Celtic's got to make sure they're doubling up. Eddie McGeady's got to come back and go and help him there, but you just feel Dynamo are getting more and more players forward. They're getting players wider. They're getting better balls into the box.
Dynamo Moscow 0, Celtic 1. Scott McDonald after 43 minutes. It's one apiece on aggregate. Dmitry Kambarov. He caused all sorts of problems with the last corner, and he found his brother, which looks confident. Has to go back. It's Luvens who gets the header away that time. Donati with a header. Ever present this season. On the home side, sends it long, and that's poor. And that didn't see McDonald, who was back on side. It's played to him anyway. Celtic going for the low one. That was tasty from McDonald. He really got his foot behind that. The drive just wide.
Great play by Scott McDonald. He just left everything. He put the goalkeeper under pressure. The goalkeeper miskicked the ball. Celtic picked up the scraps. The ball went back to McDonald. Good strike, but just dragged it wide of the target.
Got a great view from here of that. It was just always looked like the goalkeeper had covering it and just going wide. Like you from here, we've got a good view of the Russian space program as well, I suspect. What we're seeing on the field is pleasing on the eye from a Celtic point of view. Maloney kept it in. Play from Sean Maloney. Culloden comes out. Donati and Nguemo. Hinkle wide. Could be intercepted, and was. It was a poor pass led by Dmitry Kambarov. Swapped sides with his brother. Koklov trying to come through. Well won by Nguemo.
Well, they gave the ball away and he's retrieved it again. That's what you're looking for from the midfield. If you give it away, make sure you get it back.
Fox on to Donati. It's not the sort of pass that you wanted. The referee, though, deciding the book should just come back to the back of the knees of Donati. And the apology from Fox.
Yeah, correct decision from the referee there, but Celtic taking a wee chance.
Here comes McGeady. And McGeady was caught in all sorts of minds, all of them wrong that time.
He's got support down that right hand side. Andy Hinkle's charged the full 50 yards. Just roll the ball to him, then go and support him again. Just keep possession of the ball.
Shake of the head there from Aidan McGeady. Work from down pitch side. Tony Mowbray is engaged with conversation with Scott Brown. Celtic make the change. Gumbarov to Svetsov. Get away from Hinkle. He's left down his side, the throw. Dynamo Moscow out at the first hurdle and only 5 over 18 seasons in European competition. Having won away, they weren't expecting to go out. It's a decent ball across. Arthur Boric takes. They call her just doing enough to get out of the way.
Yeah, a good take from the goalkeeper. Under pressure from his own defenders. Thought they could have clattered into each other, but a good throw out to Sean Maloney.
Nice step overs too, making space onto McGeady. Overrun by McGeady and then followed through. And Svetsov, the man who was taken out. The referee may well be kind to Aidan McGeady and say it was motion that caused the problem rather than malice.
Yeah, I think it was a wee bit accidental. They just overran the ball there. He slid into the challenger and he's got a sore wind in his shin there. Look, he's going for the ball. He slid in. Both players giving 100%. I think the referee was a good referee, and I think he'll just say to McGeady, just watch the challenges.
It's a big night for both sides. Big night for the referee too, just promoted to the elite class. He'll be looking for Champions League appointments. Both these sides looking for their own appointments in the Champions League, the playoff round to come. The draw for it is on Friday.
I think he's a great pick for the game tonight, because if you've just been promoted to the elite squad of referees, you want to show the world that you are a good referee, you're a fair referee, you can go to hostile venues and be very neutral, and I think tonight he's refereed the game very well up to now. Yeah, we're just looking at Tony Mowbray having a word with Scott Brown. Could be Donati with the one being left out. He's drifted out the game. Guemo's been the more influential of the two midfielders.
Celtic preparing the change as Glenn Loovens picks up. 66 minutes played. Celtic with a goal through that man, Scott McDonald. There's Culloden under his back. Shot that time by McDonald. Gumbarov battles Donati. McGeady gets it back from Maloney. They've tried to combine on the same flank a few times, but not really has that worked.
Yeah, they're coming together, but it's important. They're still keeping the ball. They're still keeping Celtic in possession deep inside the Dynamo half.
Danny Fox to Aidan McGeady. Wicklow wanted to try and run through that time. Donati did his job all over the top. Kersagov, who we've not seen too much of. There's the pressure on Gary Caldwell.
That's how to defend. Under a wee bit of pressure, you're not sure if your goalkeeper's going to come, not sure how close the striker is to you, put the ball in nose head.
And you can have a chat about it. Kersagov found space at the edge of the box. He's going for it, Arthur Boric. Easily down by the man in yellow.
Yeah, he's looked much sharper this season already, the goalkeeper, and again there, not the best shot in the world, but he had to deal with it. He was very comfortable.
Well, they've really restricted Alexander Kersagov, top goal scorer in the Russian league. They don't actually score that often. Dynamo Moscow. So they don't rattle in the goals. It's 19 and 16 in the league. And Guemo caught by Svetsov. The referee gets that point where the card will come out.
Yeah, I think again the correct decision there, and Guemo taking the ball. He's clattered from behind. Celtic are about to make a change.
Well, he's worked hard, Viktor Svetsov. And
Fortuni's coming off. Fortuni's coming off for Scott Brown. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to change it on the strikers. He might just be happy playing the five across the middle of the park and get people support. Obviously you've got two wide players who will get up there, but you need someone to support through the middle.
So welcome back Scott Brown, just an hour in the last 10 weeks. And he's been asked just to push up a little bit, offer support. He's inside the box, he's flicked it on. Fernandez was uncertain. And Svetsov got the clearing header. Fox. Donati started the last game for Celtic in Moscow. Sorry, too many in European terms. In the Russian capital. Magidi sends it out wide. Play from McDonald. Lively and alert as ever. Able to take it for a walk and a wander. Now Magidi. Donati. Donati trying to make himself the hero. Laid down by Fox. Up to Brown at the edge of the box. Sean Maloney launches that one into the stand. Sean Maloney's actually won in a away tie for Europe. He played against Kaunas. It was the match before NTK Budapest. Celtic's last away win in Europe, a 4-0 game 6 years ago.
Long time ago. But again, a good spell from Celtic. They're down both sides. Scott McDonald holding it up. Scott Brown being involved as well. And I think that's important. He'll be comfortable just working from midfield to go and support the main striker.
Fourth place in the Russian League. Won at the weekend though, top 5 did in Russia. Just 4 points off the lead. So far 1 each on aggregate. Well, just trying to run off the knot, and that was good play. On to Gary Caldwell, Hinkle's wide, Magidi's short. To play it through to Brown. Interesting, Murdo. I mean, if Brown's been asked to come on and play up front, you look at the bench, you see Samaras and you see Killen.
It's a strange one. It's definitely a strange change there. It's very unusual because you just felt that the manager was going to maybe change and put one straight for Donati, straight swap, just a wee bit more life, a wee bit more liveliness in the middle of the park. But obviously it's a different role, and it doesn't happen very often because normally Celtic will always have two main strikers up there. I mean, they've got Chris Killen and Samaras on the bench, but I think the manager's making sure they'll still be winning the midfield battle.
Caldwell on Svetsov, gave her the free kick. Caldwell not even a touch fortunate, seemed to be leaping in slightly. Fair to say it's starting to get a bit more physical as well.
Well, I think that the players are working hard. I don't think it's any physical. I don't think there's any hard challenges yet.
On to Svetsov. Well closed down. As things stand, extra time and penalties are looming. The Arena Himki in Moscow Oblast, just outside the main city. Nicely done by Brown. McDonald back to Brown. Good play, good interchange by Celtic. Ball played out wide. Here comes Sean Maloney. Can Celtic find a way through? Maloney wants it himself. It's blocked. Brings back Magidi. Magidi on to Hinkle. Bit of German magic perhaps. It's a great deep ball taken down by the pole. And Kowalczyk was as calm as could be. Then Guemo, in the first phase of danger, thwarted, trying to work the 1-2. Brown, Magidi going through, still going. Fernandez with a last-ditch challenge. Here comes a third attack. Fox plays it in, flicked up onto Brown. Shout for handball, and the referee will give it. It came up and off the arm, but wave after wave there from Celtic.
Great attacking football from Celtic there. Scott Brown highly involved there. Nice wee touches. He's got inside the box there. Hinkle's dinked the one to the back post there. I think when Magidi picked the ball up, I was looking to see if the defender made contact with him, but it was a chance. Good football, good attacking football.
It's nicely poised. Dinámo Moscow, first Russian club side to win in Scotland. going to try and take care of Celtic. It's Champions League third round qualifier, the second leg, we're locked 1 apiece on aggregate. Scott Brown, Gordon comes out, touches it away from Brown. Welcome Baroff. Watch the 1-2. Touch inside past Donati. Fox continues to impress. McDonald. All the runners leading down the left side. Donati to Nguemo. On the accelerator to Gallop. Dreadfully short. Referee will allow play to continue. Kurzakov trying to go in past Luvens. Caldwell back, tracking back. That's the danger.
He gave it away. But he came back and he rectified the mistake there. Gary Caldwell had to get back there, but
go ball well dealt with. Other than that, Maroff in front of him. Sets off, pings it back at him. Dmitry Koklov, who really has drifted out the game in terms of influence. Somebody would like that to continue. And Koklov just found he had a rest. His form, but again he's robbed. McDonald. On to Sean Maloney. Maloney tries to go through his man. Kowalczyk's seen that before.
Just outnumbered there, too many players round about him. Looking back to Koklov here, earlier on when he was playing 4-1-4-1, he was on his own, he had all the space. Over the game, the midfield four's been pushed back in alongside him, and I think he's been kind of overshadowed in that area.
Donati. On to Gary Caldwell, Celtic captain. Came on as a sub when they played it Luzhniki against Spartak. So influential from the start tonight. Donati on the angle. Looking for Brown. Again, good play by Fox. Donati coming back.
I think Kambarov has enjoyed playing against Danny Fox tonight. Every challenge has been a strong challenge, and Fox has come out on top.
If Celtic score, Dinamo Moscow would need 3. The late goals rule would kick in should they equalise. Little trip there. And that's why it was vital Celtic got the away goal. Take out and cancel what they've conceded, and a second one here would be great. One 1-0 Celtic. International sign for wait till the ball's played before we start pushing each other. Maloney in. Gordon had no choice. Up and over his own bar. Celtic's second corner of the half.
Very good defensive work there. It was a free kick, very difficult to deal with there in between the back 4 line and the goalkeeper, and he's had to knock it over his own crossbar.
Sean Maloney. That's a decent ball, and the goalkeeper almost fisted it straight off Koklov and into his own net. Koklov did well to pirouette to turn away.
Yeah, that was a let off there, because I felt he was going to just catch the ball under no pressure, then he's punched it against his own player. Unfortunately, look at the back of the ball.
And we'll see the cards. He's taken down Svetsov just one too many times.
Yeah, he's been battling away in the middle of the park. He's had a really good match in Nguemo there, but now under a wee bit of pressure, giving away a silly free kick. And Samaras looks as if he's getting stripped, so obviously a wee change up front. think Scott McDonald would be the obvious choice. Because I don't think you can just change the midfielder again. I think you've got to be careful now, make sure you get a hold of the middle of the park.
Well, it's Scott Brown who's been berated that time. That's on the Donati. Dimitri Clough taken down. Will slip ball through, sets off, went for it. Caldwell was alert.
Yeah, the midfielders went to sleep there, and Gary Caldwell swept up there. But again, no nonsense, just knocking the ball forward.
Brown, good chasing down. Culloden put on the back foot. Brown wants more pressure to come, and it does so. Rouchik knocks it out of play. Celtic preparing the change.
Scott McDonald, yeah. Just what Scott, striker for striker, but a wee bit of difference as well. Maybe someone a wee bit better in the air. But Scott McDonald, he scored tonight. Job done. So I think Samaras now, he's on. He's got to look to get a goal as well.
His first away goal in Europe. A cracking one it was too. Deep cross met by Scott McDonald. Now shows you Samaras can pick now to score his first European goal for Celtic. Into the box by Donati. Too far that time for Samaras. This is the only scoreline that can take us to extra time. Equaliser from Dinamo Moscow. Obviously they would lead the tie. If Celtic score again, they would lead, and Dinamo Moscow have to find a way past Celtic a couple of times, or they would go out on the away goals rule. Good play from Celtic. Donati, Brown's ahead of him, wants it. Closed down by Culloden. Brown read that all the way. That's great play. He knew what was coming. You could almost hear the centre half behind him. Yeah,
Culloden's a wee bit fortunate not to receive a yellow card there, because he knew he was just going to take Scott Brown out of the game there. But good football, quick feet by Brown there. Not much contact though, to be fair to the centre back. Scott Brown was reading it.
McGeady. Fox yells and gets the pass. Now Maloney makes his intentions clear. He wanted it, got it. On to Fox, 3 in the box for Celtic. Ball comes across, better handling that time by the goalkeeper.
I think someone's had a knock here in the box. One of the Celtic players. Scott Brown.
Every Scotland fan holds their breath. But they don't have to. It's Glenn
Lewins. Goodness me, he's hitting half up there. I don't know whether the goalkeeper caught him as they went for the challenge.
Little chip ball in. Lewins just stumbling.
Oh,
that could be a sore one.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's twisted his knee there. Usually that's the sore one's the self-inflicted one. When you've been down, you've landed awkwardly.
Darren O'Dea immediately dispatched to warm up, just in case. And Glenn Lewins is up. Not many Celtic fans here. It's been a hard place to get to, hard to get visas as well. Like 300 Celtic fans.
It's amazing how they managed to get so many coming over with the visas. The problems we had to come out as well, so well done to all the fans who made their way out.
Gary Caldwell. Given away by Celtic. Set off. Wilkshire. He's drifted out the game. I think you mentioned about Clough not getting the same amount of space. I think the same applies to Luke Wilkshire.
Yeah, for Celtic's been the better side, but now they can't just maybe look for extra time. I think there's an opportunity just now within 90 minutes to go and get a second goal, and they've just got to believe in that they can do that.
Sean Maloney. Good play from Sean Maloney. Rouchik comes across. Well, he won it initially well.
I thought there was a wee push in Maloney there when he went to ground and eventually hit his hand. There, I felt that was a free kick.
I think he'd try and claim it was a shoulder charge, a mismatch in terms of height.
Change for Dynamo.
Looks like Alexander Kokorin. The free kick will be given against Karzakov.
Yeah, good defensive work there by Glenn Louvens, using his strength and experience by winning the free kick. Interesting if Dynamo are going to go back to 4-4-2.
I think they may well have to. Svetsov would be my pick to come off. The angled ball is perfectly executed onto Maloney. Maloney is just too deep from Sean Maloney. He knows it. He's annoyed with himself. Samaras had made a good run.
Yeah.
So the change is going to come.
Yeah, Svetskov, the man, obviously going back to 4-4-2 now, and a system they don't normally play. They played it for one of the first times at Celtic Park, and it worked for them. They won 1-0. But tonight it's not worked for them, and Corcoran coming on there. So again, it's another problem for the Celtic defenders. Someone with a lot of pace.
Scored at Celtic Park. It was a delightful finish. Came up on the books of Lokomotiv Moscow and came to Dinaмо. Scored the winner against Lokomotiv on his second ever start. A moment he really enjoyed. Caldwell hooks it away. 6 minutes to go. Extra time is looming. As things stand, both teams winning away from home, 1-0. Do you have time for that to change here in the Arena Himki? And well, on to Fox. Up to Brown. Beautifully away from Culloden, still Brown flicks it on. Georgios Samaras is offside. That would have been his moment. And I wonder if he knew when he curled it wide that the flag had already spoiled any attempt at fun for him and for Celtic.
Yeah, it was great play by Brown just to set up the initial chance here. Samaras just a few yards in front of him. He must have been looking along the line. Yeah, just a yard offside. Correct decision from the far side linesman. Again, Scott Brown's becoming more and more involved in the middle of the park. He's picking up all his scraps here, and he's bringing the other striker into play.
Culloden just came across Gary Caldwell that time. Tug of the jersey to Celtic. Close to ending this horrible 22-game away spell without a win on the travels in Europe. As things stand, under this match, the job is only half done. Brown. Slows down, but again it's Celtic with the possession. Maloney to Donati. Samaras, that's a great run, he's onside. Samaras wants support at the edge of the box. Maloney had went through. Samaras almost to Brown. Culloden away. Samaras back in there. There's no room, but he managed to find the ball onto McGeady. Celtic being whirled forward by their supporters behind that goal. McGeady shapes to shoot. It was a decent effort to pick Kumbanov. And Kokorin flips it back to the other Kumbanov on that far side. It's Dimitri.
Good play from Celtic, good football from the middle of the park, great ball from Donati into Samaras. Just couldn't get a teammate to support him there to set him up for a shot from about 12 yards.
He looks sharp, Georgios Samaras. 23 goals and 62 for Celtic. And really on the shoulder of the last defender. Couldn't get the better that time of the fullback. Louvens. 3 minutes to play. Scored with 2 minutes to play in the first half. A little repeat here, and Celtic can make a little bit of history. Fox over the top. The pass was meant for Maloney. It's either going to be a corner or a throw. He'll accept the throw, Sean Maloney.
Good ball again from Danny Fox. He's played very well tonight, left back.
Fox into Brown. He needs a runner off him. And Culloden wasn't messing around there either. He was quite happy to concede the corner.
He's caused problems for a midfielder playing up front. He's caused problems for the defenders. He's been running into good areas.
Well, Celtic might just have 300 fans here, but you can almost feel the fans back home willing them on. You can see Peter Grant from our vantage point waving furiously to his side. Corner and the goalkeeper comes for it again. It's the punch. Samaras wins the header. Culloden nods it away. McGeady poised. Back to Fox. Nguemo sends it long. Gary Caldwell waiting. Caldwell. Celtic looking for a second goal. At Old Trafford in Manchester last time they got two in a European tie away from home. They're pressing again. Caldwell knocks it down. Any takers pushed away. It was like Glenn Louvens who'd stayed forward. Fox on the angle. Samaras trying to get him behind. Good play by Van Aert. Giving the Greek any chance to get past him there.
Yeah, just trying to push themselves forward there, Celtic, but they had to be careful at the back. It was 1-1, 1 for 1. They left the striker, so they've got to be careful. They just don't keep on pushing forward, trying to gamble just now.
Celtic were due to leave Moscow by midnight tonight. They won't make that. I'm sure they'll settle for the extra 30 minutes if it comes their way. Unless they find a goal scorer who's got a plane to catch. Maloney works it through. Brown waits for it, touches it back to Maloney. This is it for Celtic. Maloney still going, and the goalkeeper makes the save. Brilliant interchange, Brown and Maloney, and Sean Maloney was inches away from making it 2-0.
Unbelievable. Brown was fantastic there, holding the ball up, playing the 1-2 edge of the box. Maloney's driven in there by the defender, and the goalkeeper somehow kept a hold of it.
4 minutes of additional time to be played. It is swinging Celtic's way. Can they capitalise? That's the question now.
Well, they've got to keep on looking for it. Decent balls into the box. They've had so many plays at the edge of the box. They've whipped balls into the box, and Sean Maloney was just so unfortunate there. Here we go, we're watching Sean Maloney driving in. They're just trying to get the ball. He's stuck under his feet. No great pace, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper.
I thought it was in. I thought he'd done it.
Yeah.
Can he set up here? Going into the box. Culloden again away. Good touch. Corcoran was there. Just lashed forward. Samaras is there. Georgios Samaras. What's the touch? He's going across. Can he finish? Yes he can! Georgios Samaras! His first European goal for Celtic. It's a historic goal for Celtic. Dinaмо Moscow 0, Celtic 2.
Quite unbelievable. Absolute fantastic football. Great build up, and the ball just played in. Samaras back post here, inside three defenders there, and he just cut the ball back, bottom left hand corner. 2-0 Celtic.
He is the man for Celtic tonight. The substitution made by Tony Mowbray. One goal scorer for another, and Georgios Samaras sends the Celtic fans into green and white heaven. Tremendous.
Yeah, what a time to score as well. Just before half time they went 1-0 up into the second half, looking to go to added time, and now Samaras, wonderful. Look at the skill there by the first defender, second defender, kept his eye on the ball there, bottom left hand corner. The goalkeeper, he's at full stretch, he's right across his goal, but into the bottom corner. Great finish.
Pinpoint accuracy from Georgios Samaras, and Celtic have the second goal they craved. They've got 2 minutes to hold out now, Celtic. Dynamo Moscow going after it, and thump wide. What a night this has been for Celtic.
Well, you asked the man that wanted an early play, and he's just answered you. Samaras there. It's two great changes by the manager. You know, Scott Brown going on, playing off the front and then up front. Samaras going on at the right time, and he's produced the goods. He's scored the goal, and now Celtic, but by far tonight the better side, both halves.
Around 12,000 people are being outsung by 300. Samaras, first European goal for Celtic, and boy does it count.
Really important, because you're looking at extra time. Celtic being the better side, not to be able to break down the Dynamo side in the second half, but for me the football's been much better. They've kept a hold of the ball, players have been creating chances.
Well, it's now a question, does Celtic go through winning on aggregate on away goals? It really matters not.
It doesn't matter. I'm sure Tony Mowbray just now will be absolutely delighted. We spoke to him before the game. He was looking forward to the match. He was relaxed, and he knew it could go either way. If his side produced the goods, if they could put the ball in the net, he could win on the night, and they've managed to do that.
Well, the Celtic players know the significance of this. They're huddled round the injured player at the moment. The referee looks at his watch. Well, Martin O'Neill didn't have Champions League football in his first season at Celtic. He inherited a side that qualified for the FA Cup. Gordon Strachan led his side unsuccessfully against Artmedia in his first season. They lost 5-0 and really should have won. I mean, I know they won at Celtic Park, but they should have gone through for my money. Tony Mowbray, first season, inherited a chance at the group stages, but like Gordon Strachan, in trouble after a first leg defeat. He's turning it around.
We always spoke about it, Paul, at Celtic Park, the way Celtic played, the amount of chances they created. You felt same type of performance, create chances, and you'll get through tonight. And a lot of people felt it wasn't going to happen, but I think the belief in the players have shown tonight, and that they've pushed forward. They've taken the sting out of Dynamo getting forward, and overall they've been a far better side.
And what a boost it is for Tony Mowbray, just his second game in charge. Culloden knows this battle's over. Celtic in the closing stages. That's a decent shot and dealt with well by Boric. Pilkloff waits for it. Komorov has proved that he's got a decent shot on him, proving it again. Pilkloff sends it across. Celtic just need to clear again. Just taken and touched over the bar. Kerzakov that time.
A great feeling for all the players there. They're under pressure. Good corner kick, deep to the back post. Good first touch. He sets himself up, then hits the ball high over the crossbar. Now they can relax. There's the goalkeeper under. The ball is moving all over the place. Good kick, saved by Boric. If he'd stumbled and left it there, it was a goal. He's knocked it wide of the target.
The scoreboard emblazoned on the far side. Dynamo Moscow 0, Celtic 2. McDonald and Samaras. Samaras battles for it. The additional time about to come to a close. Celtic will get the free kick. Nagiri in Wiltshire.
I think you've got to look at it overall. What a great team performance.
Yeah.
They had to have everyone on their game tonight. They've worked so hard. Change been made. Number 6 and off.
Well, it seems like a fairly pointless change. Leandro Fernandez has been withdrawn. Cedric Ropitan, the Romanian forward that's coming on.
So much time already played. There's an injury in added time, so he'll add on another couple of minutes for that.
Forward onto Scott Brown. Scott Brown plays for Scotland next week. You can see Norway against Scotland live on the BBC as Samaras made a complete and memorable night. Thrashes it across. No takers. Interesting, the Celtic back four had just sat back. No longer need to go up and support. You know, Celtic have done their job. And what a night it has been, and these players deserve all the applause and all the credit they are going to get. Scott McDonald and Georgios Samaras, the goal scorers. Tony Mowbray, the first Celtic manager to guide his side through after a first leg defeat. His second full game in charge, but he's made his own little bit of history. Magnificent for Celtic on the night. They win here by 2-0, 2-1 on aggregate, and it's Celtic who progress.
Fantastic performance by Celtic and a thoroughly deserved victory as well. And that long, awful away record has finally come to an end, and come to an end in dramatic fashion in Moscow tonight. And not only a win, which many thought was unlikely, but a wonderfully earned win, Pat, wasn't it?
Oh, by a long, long way. I think there was a 5 or 10 minute spell after half-time where maybe Dynamo went at it a little bit, but no, great tactics by the manager, Tony Mowbray. Absolutely fantastic. He brought in the changes he's made, obviously bringing on Samaras. He goes and scores the goal. But genius. He put Scotty Brown up front, or just off the front man half of the time there. I tell you what, he made the total difference to that team. Completely controlled the game from then on. And, you know, we were saying before the game, we thought maybe just keep Scott Brown, you know, maybe start him and see how long he can last. Mowbray knows what he's doing. Yeah. Having known Scotty all the way from Hibs and what he's capable of, he's not just a midfielder, there's other things he can do. Well done.
The players on the pitch get the credit. That's the way it should be, Craig. But Tony Mowbray will be a very happy manager tonight. He did brilliantly.
Fantastic. I know he had to go for it because they lost at Parkhead, but they took a bit of stick for that. People expected them to go out, and he went out tonight. He played his 2 wide players, 2 up front. He pushed up. It was a brave performance all over the park, and they were never under the cosh. They were never under real pressure. They dominated possession, territory, corners, everything. And the biggest plus of the lot was they managed to get 2 goals away from home, turn the tie around. Our game's taken a beating in the last few weeks. Celtic, Rangers, hopefully 1 or 2 others can maybe stand up now and make people realise the game up here is not as bad as we used to think.
No, a little bit of Scottish pride restored tonight. Here's the goal that confirmed the wonderful Celtic victory. Substitute Giorgio Samaras. This one went in slow motion, didn't it?
I did, but I'll tell you what, I think he looked fantastic. I think he looked really good when he came on. Even after the goal, his confidence was up, but we kept on thinking shoot earlier, but he seemed to know what he was doing, and that is a great goal.
Fantastic finish. We didn't fancy the goalkeeper. He looked shaky second half. You know, when he cuts in here, the great thing Samaras does, he knocks it back across the goalkeeper, and he just can't get there. And because of the away goal rule, that meant Celtic were through. What a goal to score for the sub.
You wonder, with it game, the first leg particularly coming so early against, I have to say, a fairly ordinary Moscow Dynamo side. I think Celtic would have won this more comfortably over the 2 legs.
Probably so, but it's easy to say that now. They had to go and do it, and it's a difficult one. Great hurdle to go over.
Yeah, no, well, Tony Mowbray's the man. His team selection was perhaps surprising. We expected Scott Brown to start, but in the end it was Brown who really made the difference when he came on in the second half. I think it's we can now hear from the Celtic manager, Tony Mowbray. He's with Chris McLaughlin.
Tony, congratulations. That was quite a night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we got what we deserved in the end. I think over the 290 minutes, I think the better team came through the tie. I think, as I've said all along, they're a very good side, a very organised side, but they at times lacked the individual quality that I felt we had, and that showed tonight. I thought we controlled the game for long spells and got our rewards in the end.
They obviously decided to sit fairly deep to start with, and you got that crucial goal at a crucial time.
Yep, just before half time. It's that's the way they played. I've seen them play live twice now, and they played exactly the same, home and away, and which give us possession of the ball. And when you've got some good footballers in our football club, and I always believe we'd score tonight. And nobody's getting carried away. If you get beat, you're not a bad side. If you win, we're not a brilliant side. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, and we've got to keep going.
What does it mean to you and to this club to progress? I mean, it's your second competitive game in charge, and already you've blown a fairly dismal European record out of the water.
I can only affect the games I'm playing in, or the team are playing in, that I'm in charge of, really. And we came here to try and be positive tonight, believe that we had better players than them, and try to control the football match. And I think we managed to do that. As I said, it was whether we could score goals. I think again it was looking as if chances were going to come and go. There wasn't a host of chances at either end, but I thought from our control and discipline tonight, we deserved to win the game.
And of course, it takes you one step closer to the Champions League group stages.
Well, listen, the club have been there the last few years and done exceptionally well in it. We know that the aim is to try and emulate that and surpass it. But I think it's very, very early days for us. Nobody's getting carried away. We've seen the quality of the teams in the next round, and I sat and watched our big city rivals play against a world-class team last Saturday on the TV, and they're in the pot for us to possibly draw them. So nobody should be getting carried away. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, but I do believe that on our day we can give anybody a game.
Tony, well done, thank you.
Cheers, Chris, thank you.
Yeah, I think the big man said we'll not get carried away about 3 times there, Craig, and of course he won't. But when he lies down tonight and shuts the eyes, it'll be with a deep sense of satisfaction.
Oh,
great
fantastic! Yeah, and he knows the record. It's been dismal away from home. Can't score goals, can't win games, and many thought that would continue tonight. And he has turned that around. He's come to the club. He did the same at Hibs. He brings a fresh air to the club because he wants to play a specific way. The fans will love to see them playing that way, but they want an end product. It means Celtic still have a chance of reaching the lucrative group stages. The money that comes in if they can win one more match, he knows just how important that was.
You say they've got a chance, but it is still a chance. I mean, not to put a dampener on it, but I mean, there's some tough teams waiting ahead.
They've still got a very, very big match to come. There's who they'll play. I mean, look at that lineup there: Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Fiorentina, Lyon, or Stuttgart. That's over the next couple of midweeks. They're going to have to produce a performance as good, if not better.
But how gutted would they be if that list of teams there was being mentioned just now and they weren't going to have a chance to play against one of them? So, yeah, it's something they can look forward to. But I think with a little bit more belief now. I think there was a number of players. We mentioned in Guillermo, OK, we're not talking about the end of the game, but we did at half-time. He's a player that's going to do well for Celtic. him and Brown in the midfield, I think you start getting the base of the team, and the centre-backs, they looked fantastic tonight. So all in all, you can just about see the basis of a team that Tony Mowbray is building.
Absolutely. Fantastic performance by Celtic. Let's hope that next Wednesday night in Oslo we're also celebrating another great Scottish victory in that World Cup qualifier. But for the moment, Celtic have at last won away from home. Never mind Moscow Dynamo. It was Celtic who were dynamic tonight. They're through from us all. Bye-bye.
World Cup qualifier Norway v Scotland. Next Wednesday, kick-off at 6 on BBC Two Scotland and BBC Radio Scotland.
Caught in the crossfire when a trip doesn't go to plan. Taking the Flak is tonight at 10. Now on BBC Two Scotland, get ready for some culture.
Full open-air cinema in London. We're here for the launch of the Film 4 Summer Screen Festival, and we're expecting some very special guests tonight. The Spanish master of melodrama, Pedro Almodovar, and his latest leading lady, Penelope Cruz. Later in the programme, we'll be talking to Almodovar about that new film, Broken Embraces, which is opening the festival here at Somerset House. And we've got another premiere on the programme tonight, this time of the architectural kind. Can cutting-edge Japanese design cut the mustard in Kensington Gardens? And not just one Oscar-winning director on tonight's programme, but two. Sam Mendes talks to us about his first foray into romantic comedy.
Ah! Oh, God, look at you! You're only 6 months in! Jesus, you're huge!
And a band that rarely do TV make an exception for us. I meet Arctic Monkeys to discuss the music that inspires them, and in a television exclusive, they perform their latest single. And finally tonight, Mark Kermode and Simon Mayo lock horns again. This time they're discussing what makes